Madini Mazimba, back again with another album review, and this time we are reviewing the album Luyando by the group Mokoomba. So finally, after 5 years, Mokoomba have finally released their follow-up album to their 2012 album, Rising Tide. And you know what, I was definitely looking forward to this album. If you have been following me, you know this was the album I was looking forward to the most this year in 2017. And you know what, heading towards the album release, I was very anxious because, you know, it was going to be very hard for me to accept anything average or below average from these guys. So I was very much afraid, you know what, they're just gonna blow it. And when the album came, after listening to this album, I have to say there was definitely nothing to fear about, because this album is well made. It's just a very, very solid, brilliant, and refreshing album to listen to. Now, this album was released on the 24th of March. Yeah, I know it's now way back. And I attended, you know, the launch, and it was a very, very nice event. There was less talking and more about the music, and the band came and they gave a very, very solid performance to just cap off the night. And after listening to this album for this past couple of months, you know, like I wrote on my blog, this album is more like an audio painting, which just shows you a glimpse into the lives, the culture, the norms of the Tonga people. Mokoomba was celebrating their heritage. They are celebrating where they come from throughout this whole album. Now, one of the major things that you get from this album is that the Tonga people, you know, they are full of love. They have a sense of community. If you listen to a track such as Muzwile, where this track just highlights the importance of greeting someone when you meet them in the morning, saying good morning, good afternoon, making everyone feel loved and cared. And another track is Mabemba. Now, in this track, they're just highlighting how the Tonga men empowered their women, how the Tonga men viewed their women as equals to them, because it just depicts a situation whereby the men will go out to hunt in the jungle, and sometimes they'll come back empty-handed with nothing. Then to find out the women, the wives, they'd already prepared meals for them. They kept the family going. They took care of the children. They took care of the homestead. So on this track, the men, they just humble themselves, are not appreciating the wives, are not for the job they have done in their absence. So the men who humble themselves, they will take off their hats, you know what, they will sit down, they will accept the food and invite the wives to come and eat with them, to sit with them and talk with them. So it's definitely a track that just shows how the Tonga people are respectful of each other. And also the track Luyando, this track is dedicated to all mothers. It's just appreciating the work that they do in each and everyone's life, you know what, raising us until we're at this age that we are. And also talking about being respectful, the Tonga people are also respectful not only to the people around them, but to the environment, to the nature that is around them. And if you listen to the track such as Mokole, this track is dedicated to the mighty Victoria Falls. They're just appreciating, you know what, the gift of life that comes from the mighty Victoria Falls and the Zambezi River. They can fish from the river. It gives them food. It gives them water for their plants, their fields. So they perform rituals, you know, honoring the mighty falls for the water and sustenance that it brings into their community. Now, on top of the love and respect that the Tonga people have, this album also concentrates on the traditions that the Tonga people practice. And one of those traditions is the initiation camp, whereby they take the young men and they go in, the elders take them to a secret location down, deep down in the forest, and they teach them about their tradition, what is expected from them now that they're turning into men, what they should do, how they should uphold and cherish their traditions. And I think this is where the track Njawani comes in. And this track is a cautionary tale, and the Tonga people are hunters, so just advising them, you know what, when you're in the jungle, you're going to face a lot of prey. Sometimes you meet a lion, and when you meet a lion, you just don't start running away immediately. You look it straight in the eye, then you back away slowly, and that way it will not attack you. So I think this is some of the advices that these young men are given at the camps. Now, not after the initiation camp, they go back home, and that's where you get the track Vimbe. Now, on this track, you know, the whole village is gathered. They are celebrating the elders and the young men that have returned from the initiation camp. So the families, you know, they're all celebrating, and you know they'll be calling the names of the young men that have returned. And when your name is called, you go into the center and you start doing the Kulumtengenya dance. Now, also on the note of tradition, then you go to the another track titled Nyaradzo. Now, this is a fantastic track. You know, it's an a cappella track. It's just made very, very well. The guys nailed this track. It's just spot on. Now, this track is just talking about the lost tradition of courtship, whereby a guy would meet, like on this instance, has met a girl who lives on the other side of the mountain, and you know what, they've been talking, and they're now planning to go home and do the introductions so that they can now start planning for their future. So this guy is just telling this story to his guys. Could not, I've met a girl Nyaradzo who stays at the other side of the mountains. We have talked, and we are now planning to go for introductions so that we can now start planning for our future. It's definitely a fantastic track. And you know what, talking about the feel of these tracks, I love how each and every track sounds different from the other, and also each track has this aura, has this different feel, which is perfect for the theme of that track. If you look at the tracks such as Vimbe, or if you look at the tracks such as Kamboa, you know, you get the feeling that when they're telling the tale, the elders are telling the tale of the orphan, you know, that they have found and took care of, the orphan who's now grown up and searching for his or her parents. You know what, they are all gathered around a fire, you know, they're talking, because if you look at the production, it's just made that you get that sort of vibe, you get that sort of feeling that the people are all around, they're all gathered around the fire, and the elders, you know what, they're telling this story. And also, if you look at the tracks such as Njawan, it's fast-paced. They're advising you that if you face a lion, you must look it straight in the eye, and do not just start running, you know what. And the instrumental is also fast-paced, because I think in such a situation, even your heartbeat, everything is just moving at high speed. And I love how the instrumental really accentuates that feeling of the track. And if you go to respectful tracks such as Mabemba, you know, the track is so down to earth. On this track, where they're appreciating their woman, and the instrumental, the way it's arranged and everything, you know, it just helps, complements and highlight, bring out the theme of that song. So you know, all of these tracks on this album, they just made very, very well. I'm just a big fan of the instrumental arrangements on all of the tracks. I think maybe on Vimbe, that's where I have a couple of, just one problem, because every time I listen to this track, you know what, I'll be waiting, but it never really comes in. So I think that's the only track where I have some queries about. But all the other tracks, they just made very well. There's also another track called Lindisiwe, which I didn't really talk about. And I think this track is more like a personal story of all the guys. It just talks about how they miss home when they're out touring the world. Like now, they were out on a 5-6 month tour all over the world. You know what, you definitely come to miss home, the people you love, you know what, your children, your family, your brothers, your sisters. So this track just highlights, you know what, that feeling in them that they feel when they're out for longer periods. And also, I love the instrumental on this track, just made very, very well. And you know what, I could just spend hours and hours, maybe days, just talking about how good the instrumental arrangements on this album is. It's quite different from the normal arrangement that we are used to, and in that way, it's quite refreshing. And you know, you can really appreciate certain instruments. Like, you know, I did not know what the cajon, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, the cajon, the use of the cajon was. You know, I saw it in a couple of videos, but you know, after listening to this album, I now know the importance of such an instrument. So yeah, I think for this summary review, just end here, because I'll keep on talking and talking, and you can just see I've enjoyed listening to this album. I've enjoyed the instrumentals, and I've enjoyed the vocals. You know, Matthias Muzaza, I think he is the most dynamic voice compared to anyone on the local scene. The way he switches from his hoarse kind of voice, you know, to these high pitches, to the low pitches, is just staggering. It's just amazing. You know, and the instrumentals, the guys on the instrumentals, they did an amazing job. You know, looking at someone like Abundance Mutori on the bass guitar, he was fantastic throughout the album. Whenever he was called upon, you know, he was just on point. He did an amazing job. Then there's Trust Samende. I think this guy probably is the best guitarist in Zimbabwe at the moment. He's just fantastic. I don't think there are any words right now I can say to really explain how talented and how good Trust is on the guitar. The only thing that I can say to you is that, you know, next time you hear that Mokoomba is in your town, just go to their show. You you definitely won't be disappointed. And then there is Miti and Daba, who are in charge of the percussions and the washo. And the guys did a very, very good job. This album has a very, very serious traditional feel, and it's because of these instruments, these African instruments like washo, the percussions, that really bring out the African among all of the tracks. And lastly, there's Donald Moyo, who was in charge of the marimba, and the cajon, and he also did a fabulous job. I just love how these guys work together, how they gel together, how each and everyone knows their part, and they do it to the best of their abilities. It's just a fantastic and solid group. And the album as well, this is a very, very good album. Like I've said, you've heard the themes. It gives you a glimpse into the Tonga culture. And if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something that's refreshing, something that keep on sounding good in years to come, this is definitely the album to get. I've enjoyed literally nearly every aspect of this album, and up to now I can say this is the best album I have listened to from any Zimbabwean artist in this year of 2017. And my overall rating, I think for now, is definitely obvious to everyone. I give this album an A. And for those who have listened to this album, go in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the album. Tell me what's your favorite track on this album. And also, don't forget to like the video. See you again next time.